A very good evening and a warm welcome to this week's first edition of Prime Time News with me, Silime Shimwefeleni. In our lead story tonight, Grade 12 candidates who wish to further their studies at the University of Namibia will, as from the 2022 academic year, have to obtain 27 points in 5 subjects as per the revised Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate.
This is contained in a formal education circular issued recently by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture and addressed to various education stakeholders to inform current grade 12 pupils and their guardians to familiarize themselves with the newly revised curriculum. The 27 points should be obtained in 5 subjects, of which 2 should be on Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate Advanced Subsidiary level with a C grade or higher in English, or 27 points in 5 subjects, of which 3 should be on Namibia's Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary level and a C or higher grade in English on the UNAM scale. All this is for a degree program, the notice read. For a diploma program, candidates have to obtain a minimum of 23 points in 5 subjects, of which 2 should be on Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate Advanced Subsidiary level and a D grade in English, or 23 points in 5 subjects, of which 3 should be on Namibia's Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary level with a D in English. The university will also stick to its old practice of making provision for alternative entry pathways, such as recognition of prior learning from other institutions of higher learning and the mature age entry and marginalized schemes. Other institutions of higher learning that increased entry points are vocational training centers under the Namibia Training Authority, which now require 20 points in 6 subjects at Namibia's Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary level with an F grade in English, and mathematics and physics will be compulsory as technical subjects. Candidates can also enter with 18 points in 6 subjects on Namibia's Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary with F grades in English, mathematics, and science for pre-vocational subjects. Entry to the International University of Management has increased from 22 points to 25 points, and 5 subjects, and a D grade in English for both Namibia's Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary and Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate Advanced Subsidiary level for a bachelor's degree. The Namibia University of Science and Technology did not change its admission requirements and still requires 25 points in the 5 best subjects.
Leader of the official opposition and president of the Popular Democratic Movement, McHenry Venani, has called on the Southern African Development Community to institute a process of mediation into the crisis of the Kingdom of Eswatini.
The kingdom has been characterized with unrest for the past weeks after pro-democracy protesters in Eswatini took to the street protesting, looting and expressing deep-rooted economic and political grievances in the country. In a statement issued on Friday, Venani said while he welcomes recent efforts of SADC organ on politics, defense and security to embark on a fact-finding mission to the Kingdom of Eswatini, it is undeniably clear that there exists an urgent need for the organ to return to the country as the situation is extremely delicate and tension continues to grow. Venani said, of great concern is the video of wounded individuals burning tires and barricaded streets that are making rounds on social media. Most regrettably, however, is the unfortunate loss of innocent Eswatini lives that comes as a result of security forces and demonstrators clashing. This clearly depicts a grim state of affairs in the country. He applauded the President of Botswana and Chairperson of the SADC organ on politics, defense and security, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, to ensure that all stakeholders involved in the country's troubles address their differences through inclusive and meaningful engagement.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime on Friday donated medical equipment and supplies to the Windhoek Female Correctional Facility aimed at assisting women and babies in terms of HIV and AIDS treatment and prevention.
As part of sexual reproductive health and rights, the Namibian Correctional Service offers female inmates prevention of mother-to-child transmission services to help prevent HIV-positive mothers serving terms in prison from transmitting the virus to their babies. The donation, worth close to $64,000 Namibian, consisted of baby scales, blood pressure machines, fetal stethoscopes, first aid kits, oxygen flow meter, and many other necessary in monitoring, treating, and preventing transmission of the virus. Namibian Correctional Service Chief Medical Officer Oteli Kovaluva, while receiving the donation, said the supplies will help to improve service delivery and allow female inmates and their babies to access prevention of mother-to-child transmission services. Kovaluva said this donation just came at the right time as Namibian Correctional Service is moving towards the integration of sexual reproductive health and rights and HIV services in correctional settings where prevention of mother-to-childhood transmission services will be made available and accessible to female inmates and their babies.
The police at Opuo are investigating a case in which an employee of the Bank Windhoek branch is alleged to have fraudulently credited 729,800 Namibian dollars to 5 different accounts belonging to different account holders on Saturday.
According to the weekend crime report unveiled by the Namibian Police Force on Sunday, the money in question was deposited into the bank by different businesses. It is further alleged that the suspect took an unspecified amount of money from the bank and left unnoticed. All these irregularities were detected during the cash-up time, it said, adding that the bank official, however, managed to reverse all the money that was transferred to the different accounts. It is further alleged that the suspect borrowed a friend's vehicle by pretending to collect stuff from a local furniture shop but instead drove to Oshakati, where he abandoned it at Amta parking area. The suspect then informed the owner of the vehicle that the car keys were left at Select filling station. The Namibian Police Force recovered the vehicle and the suspect is not yet arrested.
Stand by for your top roundup. Moving on to all things business and economics. The City of Windhoek has announced increases in its municipal bus fares for the 2021-2022 financial year with effect from today.
A recent media statement available by the City of Windhoek said bus fares will increase from $7 Namibian to $7.50 per trip for smart card holders and $8.50 per trip for cash payments from today. Passengers who make use of the municipal buses should therefore obtain receipts from the bus driver every time they enter the bus in exchange for their payments, and any passenger without a receipt will be regarded as an illegal passenger and will be asked to pay or leave the bus by the bus inspector or city police officer, it said. If a bus driver refuses to provide a passenger with a receipt, such a passenger must inform the bus inspector or city police officers at the nearest checkpoint, it said. The increases are in line with the government gazette and the city tariffs for the 2021-2022 financial year.
Cabinet has approved the soliciting of funding by NamWater and the government to fund the next phase of a planned desalination plant to secure water supply to the Central Coast, Windhoek and en route users.
Government plans to build a desalination plant at the Central Coast, among others to lessen water constraint, enable the expansion of economic activities in the mining sector, and to expand local generation capacity by 250 megawatts. A feasibility study on the desalination plant and water carriage system was concluded recently. It was conducted to establish a comprehensive concept that will secure and diversify the sources of Namibia's water supply by expanding the conventional water resources. Following the study, Cabinet has approved in principle the development and implementation of more optimized Phase 1, which is the Supply Scenario Project. This is according to cabinet decision taken on the 11th decision-making meeting held on the 6th of July 2021 and seen by NAMPA on Friday.
It's time for the Business and Economics Roundup. That was all the top news we had for you this evening. Kindly stand by for tonight's sports update with Michael Madimba standing in for Shelva Wells.
Thank you, Salima. Welcome to Sport Planet, and we kick off with COSAFA news. Namibia on Saturday overcame Zimbabwe by 2-0 to stay at the summit of Group B at the COSAFA Cup tournament, currently underway at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth, South Africa.
This was Namibia's second match of the tournament, and the 2 goals in the second half saw the Brave Warriors brush aside their most fancied opponents, with the man of the match Elmo Kambindu creating the first goal and scoring the second one. Namibia went ahead in the 70th minute when captain Willie Stefanus floated in an inch-perfect pass to Kambindu in the 18-yard box. The gangling Namibian striker's cross was turned into the net by Zimbabwean left-back Kodar Amini, who failed to clear his lines following Jimmy Zingai's failed clearance, leaving Namibia leading by 1-0. Kambindu was back to hurt the Zimbabweans when he latched onto a through pass from fellow striker Isaskar Gurirab in the 75th minute to seal the 3 points for the Brave Warriors. The victory sees Namibia lead Group B standings on 6 points, followed by guest team Senegal. Zimbabwe remains in the 3rd position with 2 points, following 2 draws in their first 3 matches. Malawi is at the bottom of the log with 0 points from 2 matches. Speaking to SuperSport Television after the match, Namibia coach Bobby Samaria said the change of tactics in the second half had carried the day for them.
England's Football Association released a statement in the early hours today condemning the online racist abuse of players following the team's penalty shootout loss to Italy in the Euro 2020 final on Sunday.
The sides drew 1-1 after extra time, and Italy won the shootout 3-2 with England players Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka, who are all black, missing spot kicks. The statement said, FA strongly condemns all forms of discrimination and is appalled by the online racism that has been aimed at some of our England players on social media. They could not be clearer that anyone behind such disgusting behavior is not welcome in following the team. They will do all they can to support the players affected while urging the toughest punishments possible for anyone responsible. The England team also released a statement condemning the abuse directed at its players on social media. The team tweeted, "We're disgusted that some of our squad who have given everything for the shirt this summer have been subjected to discriminatory abuse online after tonight's game." Twitter said it had removed more than 1,000 tweets and permanently suspended a number of accounts following the abhorrent racist abuse directed at England players. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said the team deserved to be lauded as heroes and not racially abused on social media.
Your sports roundup is up next. That's all the news we had for you this evening. Well, thank you for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up and share. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, click on the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Catch us tomorrow for your dose of primetime news. From myself and the entire production crew, it's good night